You are listening to Naked Soul Reflections, Mindful Moments for Clothes-Free Living, with your host, Hantu Nehart.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Naked Soul Reflections. I'm Hantu Nehart, and I'm happy to be here with you today. One of the things that has surfaced for me recently, and especially this week, is the importance of letting go of comparing myself to other people. And that's going to be the topic of today's Naked Soul Reflection. I have spent so much of my life comparing myself to other people, and not just in a physical sense, but very much in the sense of, am I contributing anything valuable to my environment, to my communities? I have spent an inordinate amount of time obsessing over different people's social media pages and in person as well, what people are doing and all the success that they're having, and thinking, wow, they're really making an impact on the world. They're a great yoga teacher. This person's doing this cool thing. And I would look at these people, and I would look at all the comments on their posts about how wonderful they are and how beautiful they were and how everybody loves them and thinks that they're amazing and that, it's just that they're the best thing. And when I would look at those, I totally just thought, oh, well, the world has enough awesome. What more could I possibly add that could be useful to anyone? I didn't think that the world needed me to teach yoga. Like, what was the point? Especially here, I live in the United States, and especially in the city where I live, there is no lack of yoga studio. There is yoga everywhere, folks. And studio upon studio, different styles, different types of teachers. Everybody's on Facebook and Instagram and all that. People are getting articles written about them and whatnot. And I just thought, well, fine. There's a saturation in the market. Nobody needs me. Like, clearly there's just an abundance of newly certified, ready to work everyone into all this great stuff. Everybody come take yoga. Yoga's the big thing now. It's not niche. It's not weird. It's now the thing to do. And so I thought, well, great. I mean, nobody needs me. So what am I even doing here? Why am I continuing training and studying and all these things when, it's great for me, but does anybody really need me? Like, should I do something else? Should I just step back? And I did. I stepped back. I thought, forget it. There's no point. People want to see pretty pictures on Instagram, and they don't know the person in the picture, but they think that they're awesome because they have a perfect pose and a perfect body, or even an imperfect body, but they're famous because of their imperfect body. And so I thought, well, both perfect bodies and imperfect bodies are getting pressed now, so I think that's all covered. And I wasted so much time not doing anything and just sitting back and obsessing over post after post, account after account, reading all the amazing things that everybody had to say about this person and that person. And I allow that to land on me as, nobody needs you. Go away. You don't even have anything powerful to offer. I had a shift recently. I been on my mat, of course, doing yoga, and suddenly got really present to the thought that whenever I'm in a pose and my thoughts actually go away and get wrapped up in like what the person next to me is doing, or if I'm practicing at home, get wrapped up in some thoughts, or the post I just saw 20 minutes ago and still obsessing over that and thinking that I'm not needed, that I'm worthless, and that everybody already has what they need. I realized that as I was allowing my thoughts to get caught up in all of that, I completely forgot about my body. I forgot that I had a body, in the sense that I honestly lost the feeling sense of like I felt completely separated from my body. I forgot that it even existed as a thing. And I started to come back to it and be like, oh my gosh, was I breathing? What am I what muscles am I engaging right now? What the heck are my feet doing? Are they even in alignment? Like what's going on here? And then my thoughts would go back out like, oh, I just saw that account. Everybody loves her. Everybody wants this person. That person is so qualified. They've been teaching for 30 years, clearly. And I forgot about my body again. And that kept happening. That realization kept happening that I was leaving my body behind by walking out the door with my thoughts. I abandoned myself. You want to know, can I tell you guys something? Fear of abandonment is like one of my greatest fears. It's why I'm always afraid that people will leave. That they'll get up and walk away and just leave forever and for no reason. Fear of abandonment, and I'll hold on to people and like whatever, or I'll distance myself, just thinking, oh nope, you're gonna leave at some point, so I don't wanna let myself go there emotionally, even with friends and with even beyond friends. Just nope, because you're gonna leave me at some point. But you know what the thing is? I abandon myself all the time. My body's right here, and yet here I am sitting with Instagram open, flicking through accounts, just obsessing over, well, that person's perfect, everybody loves them, they're a great teacher, they're a great inspiration, nobody needs me here because there's all this inspiration and beauty on Instagram, so what am I even doing here? Going through Twitter, going through posts, walking around in my city, I'm just like, and I abandoned my own body, and I abandoned my process for the sake of obsessing and comparing myself to other people. And once I got present to that, it was like, why am I leaving myself behind? So I started to come back intentionally. Sometimes the thoughts just go, they go, whatever. But I would come back. I'd come back home. My thoughts wander off into whatever obsessions, but then I would come back home. And it's almost like I could see myself walking back through the door and looking at my own body and saying, I'm so sorry that I left you. Returning to my breath. And breathing back into my own body. And telling myself, oh, hey, I'm sorry, I'm here. I'm here for you. That was so powerful, to make the conscious choice to come back home and to breathe back into my own body and to take the energy that I had been spending out in the world obsessing and give it back to the foundation of who I am. And an incredible thing happened with that. As I started to come back home, I actually found myself teaching. I taught my first naked yoga class ever this weekend. And I did it because I realized that, of course, the world is full of inspiration and beauty and all this stuff going on, but there are people in my world that I've been connected with, whether it's through the web, the internet, or if it's in person, and they're standing right here. I've had people approach me and say, "Come teach for me. Come teach at my office, please. If you teach naked yoga, I want to come." People who've never done anything clothes free. They've never done it. They just know that every now and then I'll drop a little, I'll drop a nickel, I'll drop a dime about what I'm doing. And they're like, I would totally come. There are these women in my life who have been dealing with such challenging things, just a variety of challenging life shifts. And once I came back home to my own body and my own breath, rather than being in comparison, I also came back home to them. And I saw them standing right before me saying, "We're right here and we're asking you, will you teach?" And it was that simple. There are people standing right in front of me, either, in person or figuratively speaking online. They're right there, staring right at me. So I want to offer that to you this week. Is there a place in your life where you spend time comparing yourself to other people, comparing your work to other people's work, their products or their projects, their families, their anything at all? Think about it. Have you abandoned yourself, your own process, your journey? Have you walked out on yourself in order to spend time perched somewhere, watching, gazing, gawking? And we know how much in the naturist, nudist, clothes-free community, how much we hate gawkers, right? We hate them. We hate the people who come to the beach with their shady, video camera, glasses, Google, whatever it's called, taking sneaky pictures to have in their, personal collection of things that we don't care to be a part of. So why was I doing that? In a way, why was I being that creepy person on the beach of life watching everybody else instead of actually being present in my own experience? And I ask you, are you being a creepy gawker in your life? Are you spending time just watching, observing, comparing, especially comparing yourself to somebody, something, whatever it is that you've walked out on yourself? And without judgment, can you observe that? And then can you invite yourself back home, come back to your body, come back to your breath, and come back and see what's standing right in front of you? Somebody needs you. Whatever it is you have on offer, they actually are asking for you. And is there something that you've been overlooking? Because I certainly had. And no judgment, right? That's not going to help anything. But how can you come back home? And in coming back home, not only does that help you take better care of yourself to get in touch with what your body and soul need, but that also grounds you in your community to see how you can give and be of service to others in a way that's so authentic. I got to tell you guys, that naked yoga class I taught this weekend, I had never felt so organic. It was, I felt a bit nervous when I first started, but after a few minutes, it was just, I created the whole sequence myself. I did it myself, and it was just authentic, and I wasn't trying to be anything that I wasn't. I was my normal, down-to-earth, funny, holding space for people, just authentic. And I'm excited for you to see how that unfolds in your world when you see yourself comparing your job to some person you knew in like high school or college, some kid who's now off and running and doing whatever, and you think, oh, but I'm not doing what they're doing. They're doing all this cool stuff and I'm not doing it. And you spend time stalking them. I know I'm not the only one. Don't look away. I'm not the only one. Google stalking them, or LinkedIn or whatever, looking through their Facebook photos. Oh, this person is living the life. No, come back to your page and cultivate. And I'm telling you, like, how beautifully authentic you will be when you come back home. How authentic you'll be with yourself, and how authentic and how organically the way that you serve will just flow. Because you're home. So take some time, spend some time with that this week. And as always, I'm doing the same thing. You all might have to be like, Anthony Hart, that's enough liking pictures on Instagram. We know what you're really doing. Put the device down. So, spend some time with that this week, my friends. And namaste.